Shannon Sharpe, 54 years old, looks like this. At 54 years old, I think that was a birthday picture, to be honest. But 54-year-old, look like that, has zero reason to take any fitness advice from anyone.
Yo, what's up, baby? What up, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. You ready?
Are you ready?
In the word of Professor Clunk, let's get busy.
Oh, you got your gloves on, so you with the straps,
Bro, I'm ready to
so
do
you
this.
were ready. All right, so we're gonna do some back and tricep.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start here. We're gonna do some lat pull downs.
Okay.
With the wide grip.
Okay.
We're not gonna go crazy wide, but we're gonna be about right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring this down, and I'm gonna keep my chin up the entire time.
Okay.
A lot of the time, people want to come down and hunch over like this.
Right.
We're gonna stay here.
Okay.
And then keep that chin up and pull it down to the top of our chest.
Okay.
And then the biggest thing is to make sure that we're not straining our neck. You know,
Right.
you get a lot of guys, you know, they're doing all this.
Right.
You know, trying to get that last rep, but we want to be able to control it. And last but not least, we want to make sure that we're pulling not with our hands, not with our biceps and our forearms, but with our elbows. So we're thinking, where are my elbows? They're up here.
Take them back.
I just want to pull them down.
Okay. Gotcha.
Pulling my elbows down. The further they can go, the better the squeeze is going to be on these lats.
Okay.
And it's going to eliminate a lot of the soreness that you're going to have here. Yeah, because everybody wants to grip everything so much because they look at the weight and they're like, I got to have it. Cool. Good, good. And they want to slow it down just a little bit. There we go. So we're going to keep that chin up. And we're going to hold for like a good 2 count. 1, 2. We're going to have more time under tension. And see, as you keep your chin up higher, you're going to be able to get more air too. The problem is when people keep their chin low, it's because of the fact that it gets heavy.
Right. So the common mistake you see a lot of people at the gym, they do this.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. We're seeing them, they're allowing that weight to control them instead of them controlling the weight.
Okay.
And normally it's an ego thing. I mean, we come into the mecca of bodybuilding. Goes Jim Venice. You see all the pictures of Mr. Olympia, all this other stuff. You see
They be
everybody.
doing that at boutique gyms also.
Yeah, they've been watching those videos. They're hopped up on the supplements. They've been listening to the crazy music, and yeah, they're with it, but they're not realizing they need to focus on some technique.
Right.
We want to focus on the tempo, so we're not going super fast.
Right.
Because this is going to carry momentum, right?
Okay.
And then we want more time under tension.
So for those that don't know, I think everyone does. Phil Heath. For those that don't know, Phil Heath, Mr. Olympia, 7-time Mr. Olympia. 7-time Mr. Olympia. Mr. Olympia is bodybuilding, sport of bodybuilding. Person in the video is his podcast, Shannon Sharpe. If you did not know that, and I want y'all to take a look at Shannon Sharpe. Take a look at Shannon Sharpe. Man, like he can step on stage as well. Before I go too much into detail, just keep watching. I'm gonna go to two specific parts in the video, but it's very consistent the entire time of how the conversation as they're lifting goes.
But I'm pulling right here with my elbows.
Okay.
And I won't stop until I know right here. I'm not going to stop until I feel those lats.
Right.
Okay. I'm not just going to come here and do all this. I'm going to come here. I feel that stretch in the lats, which is good. And I'm going to squeeze.
Do you train athletes? Do you want to get in that, train other professional athletes like basketball players, football players?
The issue I have with that is the ego with their crew. It's their crew that want to dictate what they do.
Right.
And I don't want to disrupt anything they have going on. Now, I have some friends in NFL, MLB, this and that have DM'd me, hey, what do you think of this, and this? I'm there for them.
Right.
One of my really good friends is Tim Grover. We talk.
Right. Yeah.
Talk to some of his clients as well.
Yes.
Would I want to do that? I believe the person has to be extremely coachable and I'm not saying this from an egotistical standpoint. They would have to come to me.
Right.
I'm a man of service.
Right.
So if they said, hey, Phil, like, this is what I'm thinking, or if let's say they were getting ready for a photo shoot for a magazine, you know, digital magazine or something.
Right.
This is what I've been told. What do you think? Where can I meet you? Fine, I got you. But yeah, to say that's what I'm gonna do now, no. Because the egos, man, like I'm gonna deal with some egos,
right?
And I don't know how they're gonna accept the diet,
right,
as well, and then not partying anymore,
right?
Because look, we already know the stuff that you guys talk about on your show. Mm-hmm. These guys go out, and it's hard. I've talked to different rappers and entertainers and stuff. I'll give them the diet, I tell them to train, but then I see on the IG, they're out 3-4 in the morning,
right? So
it's a waste of my time, and I don't like wasting my time.
Right.
So you hear the conversation on social media. It'd be like if I could have a conversation with Jay-Z, or I'll take Jay-Z or the money. I only say that to say, like, Phil Heath is kind of like the Jay-Z of bodybuilding. Like he did it for a number of years and times and beat like heavy competition, like Kai Green and different. Not to get too in depth in the sport because that's not my point. But my point is Shannon Sharpe, 54 years old, looks like this. At 54 years old, I think that was a birthday picture, to be honest. But 54-year-old, look like that, has zero reason to take any fitness advice from anyone. Not at all. Like, no reason at all. But when he was in, if you watch that full interview, I'll leave the link at the bottom for those that are still tuned in. That man was in here like a sponge listening to him as he's working out because, and he's not in there acting like a know-it-all because Phil Heath is Phil Heath. He knows a little bit more than Shannon. And even if he doesn't, he's still sitting back and listening just to take gems just in case he does. And the reason I'm even bringing it up is because especially men, for those that don't know who I am, I actually own a gym, Charlie Todd owns a gym. You can check out the Instagram, I'll leave a couple links. But long story short, when men, we have a problem with ego lifting like crazy, like none other. For some reason, we think lifting has everything to do with how strong you are and little to do with what you're doing and paying attention to the movements, paying attention to the reps, how you're doing the reps. I actually went back after watching this interview because I watched the full thing. I'm not going to act like this is a blind reaction because it's not. I watched the full thing and went and made the adjustments that Phil was saying. Keep in mind, I've been lifting for a very, very long time. I went and made the adjustments, and I could tell the difference just off the little adjustments, especially with the lat pull downs. I did it with bands. If I got the clip, I'll link it too. But I felt the difference just from the slight adjustment from having my head up, being able to pull down and focus on the actual area that I'm trying to focus on. But having my head down typically changes the range of motion from the pull down and makes it so I'm actually hitting things that I don't want to target. With my head up, chin up, I can actually lock in, focus on the spot, pull down and target the area that I want to target. My point is, yes, over time, maybe I'll figure that out, but there's somebody right there who already figured out exactly where I'm trying to get to for the most part. Not everybody wants to be like a bodybuilder and be old, like just crazy size. Phil Heath's like close to 300 pounds. Not everybody wants to do that, but everybody wants to look a certain way, and bodybuilders train to look their very best. So if you're someone trying to take information, that would obviously be a great person to take it from. Now, my point, and I'm going to stick with the bodybuilder conversation. I learned a long time ago from two bodybuilders. One, that the weight that you're doing didn't mean too much. Doing legs with a guy who was a bodybuilder, and we was on the leg press machine. He had 5 plates on there, 5 plates on each side. Pretty easy for the most part, but we was doing a drop set. So we started 10 or failure, 10 or failure, 10 or failure. And this is after we was doing a couple of things, squats and so on and so forth. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, yeah, this is easy. I do drop sets all the time. Had me slow every rep down, had me focus on where I was trying to hit. Once I got to that 3rd plate to drop down, I was about burnt out. Keep in mind, he started at 5 plates. He made me do 4 plates, so I kind of felt like man, I can keep up. Different world. different world. And I wasn't too prideful to think. I was sitting observing because he just knew a little bit more than I did when it came down to focusing on the muscle and not just going through the motion and just doing the curls and the pretty boy stuff. Another guy having a conversation with a guy as he's lifting. Keep in mind this is a pretty known bodybuilder. He's on the fly machine going super light as I end up checking to see how much weight he had on there. It was weight that I would have did way more than if I was jumping on. But as we're talking, I'm kind of like halfway listening to what he's saying and I'm counting the reps. The man got 30 reps and every single rep looked the exact same. He's coming up squeezing like he was trying to break something here. Every rep, boom, 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 squeezing. Short rest, and it's like as he was talking, you could see him like kind of like eager to get back to it, like he was counting down. And as soon as he was ready, boom, right back on it. Did the exact same thing, 30 reps again. I say that to say, I learned something both times with those two different occasions. I learned something. If my ego was in my way and I was like, I don't need to lift with them, I can do that, I would have been a fool in that situation. I say all that to say this. Especially men, we have to get out of our own way when it comes down to doing this. We get so hung up on, I don't need nobody to train me. I don't need nobody to do this. LeBron James, one of the best athletes in the world, still has a trainer. Michael Jordan had a trainer. Every single person who is striving to do something, especially when it comes down to needing accountability and needing a little bit of help, they all have trainers. But for some reason, or coaches to push them along the way, but for some reason, especially as men, we block ourselves. And I keep saying men for a reason because women don't be doing that. Women don't do that for the most part, at least from the experience that I had. Only women and men struggles are a little bit different. So, and I use women for example. When it comes down to them coming to the gym, they don't want to be the strongest. They don't want to be the most knowledgeable fitness person in the world. They typically come in trusting your judgment. So they'll come in wanting this. They don't care how it happens as long as it happens. They want to get the results. If you say you can get them to the results they want and you do it, great. If you don't, they're going to say, see you later. And that's pretty much what or if they don't hold up their end of the bargain on the eating side, then they'll still blame you. But that's literally the only difference between guys. But guys, we have an ego like blocking us from thinking that like, yo, I don't need any help. Yo, bro, you still are. You look like you still got same beer belly, same gut, same all that stuff. But I think this is something that we should definitely take notes from. It's my whole point. Like never be too prideful to learn and to get better and to get towards your goals regardless of how you get there. Stop being in your own way. I'm gonna leave a link so y'all can see the full clip and y'all can watch it. But I thought that was interesting. Say nothing the least. But other than that, y'all know the YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all got it. See y'all next time.